Hi, and welcome to the income investing mindset to double your business. This is the monthly theme of investing, May 2022, and wanted to give a refreshing review on what investing could mean for your business and how investing might actually help you double your revenue. Quick disclaimer, we're not giving any investment advice here. We're talking to business owners. We're talking about your business, how to grow your revenue. We're not talking about buying stocks, bonds, mutual funds, tangible assets, ETFs, or anything like that, trading them, selling them. None of that here, unless you want to. And then you should work with a professional who knows your specific situation and be cautious as you go. Here's the key question that I wanted to bring to you today. But I think if you can answer this question, you are well on your way to growing your business revenue. What if investing is really about mindset more than anything else? And if so, what is the mindset that you might want to have? Now, before we get into what an income investor mindset might look like and how it might help you grow your revenue, I wanted to first go over some basics. So, who is an investor after all? Well, chances are you're a business owner. It's part of why you're in this community. That means you're an investor. You're reinvesting time, energy, money into your business. And that makes you an investor. Because after all, what is investing if not putting money, time, assets at risk with the hope of a future quote unquote return? I mean, aren't you doing that in your business every time you work or put money into it, put your time into it, hoping that it'll make more money than whatever that time or that money is worth currently? And we're going to come back to that word return and define it a little bit more later. Now, when are you investing? As a business owner, you invest anytime you buy inventory, anytime you hire employees, educate yourself, or work on your business. That's time you're investing to improve your business, hoping that it'll grow because you invested that time. We all know sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. That's part of investing, is that there's some risk to it, right? You don't know if you're going to sell that inventory. You don't know if that employee is going to work out. You don't know if you're learning the right things. You're taking a risk by putting your time, your energy, and your money into those things. Now, where might you invest? You might invest in yourself, learning, growing, becoming who you want to become. You might invest in your business, kind of like we've been talking about. Of course, people invest in other businesses all the time. That's really what you're doing when you buy a stock or a bond or a mutual fund that's combining some stocks and bonds or what have you. You're investing in other people's businesses and hoping you'll get a return on the success that they have. And then, of course, you can also just buy tangible assets. That could be real estate, precious metals, right? You're risking that those assets will grow in value. You don't know for sure if they're going to. Now, here's the kicker. When we finally get to the why do you invest? Why do you put time, energy, money, assets at risk with the hope that they'll grow, they'll become better, more for you? What the reason I think this is actually the critical question is because I believe depending on your why, depending on why you want to invest, you're going to likely invest in different things in different quantities. You're going to make different investment decisions depending on why you want to invest. There are actually three common reasons why people invest. The first one is income. People invest in order to generate income. This could be they invest in their ability to produce an income. Think about college. People often invest in an education by paying college tuition with the hope that it'll grow their income in the future. They'll make more because they have that college degree. Now, whether that's true or not is a different story, but that's often why people go to college. Maybe people also might want to invest in order to build passive income for now. They buy a rental property hoping they'll make a rent right away. Then other times people invest to build income for later. They buy stocks with the hope that they'll sell those stocks for them to be income in the future, but they're going to hope that they grow between now and then. But it's even buying those assets, that's really about income, just income for later. That's not the only reason people buy. They also invest because they want to preserve their capital. They want to preserve the buying power of the cash or the assets that they have because they know inflation's real. Those assets are continuing to lose value if they're not growing because inflation is happening nonetheless. So some people will invest simply to make enough to keep their assets worth the same in 30 years as they are now. And then finally, people will invest in order to just build wealth they don't plan to use. This could be legacy. That's what people often think about. You're building wealth for future generations, but it could also be wealth to have more protection. You hope you never have to use it, but it's money that's invested with the idea that it could be used if you need it, but you're hoping you never have to. Contingency capital, for example. Now, whether you should invest contingency capital or keep it as savings, which savings is different from investing. Go back and read some of our savings articles or watch some savings videos to learn more about that. That's a different story, but sometimes people invest because they want to build some wealth that they don't actually plan to use. Now we're ready to go to this question. What is income investing? If we're going to be thinking like an income investor, what does that look like? An income investor is someone who invests to create that regular passive income that comes from owning assets. They buy assets with the primary purpose of them creating an income. So this is when people buy dividend paying stocks rather than just normal stocks. They'll buy dividend paying stocks and build up enough capital within those stocks that it'll pay them enough dividend to live on, really produce that income that they're looking for. Sometimes people do this with real estate. Like I mentioned earlier, they buy a rental property. That's their asset. They're not planning to sell that asset. They're planning to use the income from that asset as their income, but they're investing in that real estate in order to get the income. And then annuities, although some of these aren't technically investments, they're savings rather than investing, but people will buy them. That's their asset that creates a regular passive income that they can count on in the future. Now, if you're thinking about investing from this income lens, you're saying, okay, my primary reason for investing in my business, whether it's reinvesting and buying inventory, whether it's in reinvesting my time to work on the business to improve it so it'll generate more income. When you're thinking about your business that way, how is that going to double your business? How could focusing on your income double your business? The first thing you might ask is, what if I only invest in ways that are going to increase my revenue? What if I will only buy something if I know for sure it's going to sell, or only add new products to my product line if I know they're going to generate more revenue than the current products that I could do, and get a little bit higher degree of certainty there? What if you took a dividend from your business? What if you actually thought, well, this business isn't worth anything if it's not producing an income for me, so I'm going to start taking that income? How might your business change if you did that? And then what if you used your profit to diversify your revenue? What if you took those quote unquote dividends from your business and used it to create a new revenue stream somewhere else? This all boils down to replacing the idea of getting a return on your investment with getting a return of income, and saying I'm investing in order to build an income looks very different than I'm investing with the hope of a return somewhere along the line. Let me give you a practical example. Someone who has a return on investment focus often builds a business where they work hard for years and years with the possibility of a big payout when they sell that business. But even if they do sell it, then they get this big lump sum all of a sudden, and perhaps they waste it because they don't know what to do with it from there. On the flip side, someone who is building a business that has a return of income focus, they take funds out of their business year after year after year. And they learn along the way various ways to put those funds to work for their benefit, to take that income and create even more income from it. And then possibly they still sell the business. They still get that lump sum when they sell it. Maybe it takes them a couple extra years to get to that point. But then they already have some other businesses going that they can use that lump sum to further those efforts rather than not know what to do with it. This might be like, this seems too simplistic of a dichotomy here to compare these two. But if you're familiar with Profit First and Mike Michalowicz's story, his first business he built into a multi-million-dollar company. I don't even know how big it was. And he just worked hard for years and years, never took any money out of it. Then when he sold it, he got this big payout and he decided to be an angel investor. And as he likes to say, he turned into the angel of death. A lot of the companies that he tried to invest in, help them grow and get better, he ended up killing them. They didn't last very long. So then when he has been starting new businesses, he's gone into them with this return of income focus. It's been a lot better for him and his experience. And this is why he promotes Profit First, because this is what brings more life to his business, helps him grow a better business, and helps that business, last for the long term. So this difference here isn't something I'm making up. It's real things that real entrepreneurs have lived out in their own lives. Now, I know you're going to be asking, well, how now? How do I take an income investing focus? How do I take this? I'm going to focus on a return of income every single year for my business. How do I actually go about doing that? Probably do need to increase my revenue to make that happen. So be sure you stay tuned. Next week, we're going to show you more of how to make this happen. Next week, we're going to show you 5 practical things you might try to make that happen. Also, if you're interested in that Profit First idea, making sure that you're taking an income from your business every year, maybe even every 2 weeks or every month, let us know that you're interested in the course that we're going to create about Profit First. If you go to the Quest tab within the community, you can go ahead and sign up for that or say that you're interested in that Profit First quest. And we're hopefully going to be bringing that to you in the next few months. So you can go ahead and let us know you're interested in it there. Okay, that's it for me for today. I look forward to chatting with you soon.